talk about bandwidth. We're talking about bandwidth maybe increasing faster with Moore's Law, or that's probably a debatable point. But it's increasing in a pretty strong clip, we know that. So I'm going to ask each of the panelists to make whatever comments they feel like, and then I'm just going to try to make a question as we go.
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
Sure.
I'm Dave Rusin, with the CEO of American Fiber Systems, also founded the company. The business we're in, we own, have built, engineered, designed our own metropolitan fiber optic networks. We're primarily located in what we would call the second tier markets. And the reason for that is back in '99 when I was writing the business plan, everybody had a web page, a brochure, or a salesman said they were building in 150 markets. Just like today, just like then, they lie. Websites lie, brochures lie, and salesmen lie. So anyhow, I went out and did the work.
He's like this all the time, by the way. He's always like this.
So anyhow, I went out and did the work, and I quickly discovered in the top tier 12 cities, they had about 15 to 25 or overbuilders in each one. Back then, when you had long distance companies, you had WorldCom, AT&T, Sprint. They're all building fiber there. You had the cable companies building fiber there, and you had the ILEC building fiber there. As soon as you drop below those 12, guess what? No matter what the brochure said or the website, they weren't there. Very little building was going on, and it was, by the way, rational building. So at the time in '99, when everybody else was going out and raising $300–400 million in equity, another $300–400 million in high-yield heroin, I came up with a totally different business model. And I was kicked out of some of the best places in Wall Street when I was doing that. And that business model was really quite simple, that we're going to approach this not from a supply side, hey, let's go out and build it and see who shows up. But we're going to take a different approach. We're going to approach it from a demand side. And the idea is we're not going to go build in a market unless we have an anchor tenant. Our anchor tenant would pay the 30–40% of the cost to build out that market, our design though, and they would get a great deal on the fiber and a jump start on everybody else. With that, we had landed Cable and Wireless as an anchor tenant in all of our markets back then, and lo and behold, that's how we were born. We're not the first tier, we're not in residential, we just focus on business customers. We're not in the third, fourth tier markets simply because you go to any of those markets, there's a handful of big bandwidth users, you can count on 5 fingers, and then after that, you're down into the T1 crowd pretty quick. So what it costs to deploy these networks, on average, a blended rate, if you'd like, is about $900 a foot. You don't want to be building out to too many tier 3 and 4. I think that's going to be a nice space for WiMAX 700 megahertz applications in the long run. When we built our networks, we did no joint builds with anyone. Our footprint's unique, and a lot of people back then, the bean counters sitting up there in the corner going on their little calculators, are saying, hey, why don't you all get together and build together? So all 10 carriers are getting the same trench. You all throw 1,000 strands in a piece, so you got 10,000 strands of fiber running down the middle of New York City, and now here it is today, it's 2008, they can't figure why prices keep dropping 50% a year on their routes. Demand's there, but there's just too damn many of them all built on the same route. So we built unique routes. God, we were going against the trend then, contrary. The only time we overbuilt in our markets, we overbuilt on someone else, is that they would not offer dark fiber as a product to the marketplace, and we would build over their networks as well. And we were augmenting competition. Today what we sell, our interest for the customers is 10 meg. It's quickly going to become 50 meg. You won't find us down to T1, DSL stuff, IAD stuff, none of that. We do the backhaul for people that want to be in that nice retail, low barrier of entry, highly competitive, thin margin business. We're not there. We will backhaul for them at a nice rate. We're quickly seeing now that interest point, where we used to look at 10 meg as the financial vehicle that would get us a lateral into a building. It's quickly becoming 50 meg, and that's because of the rise in demand for the bandwidth. The economics all work out the same, but it's the demand side we're seeing now, where 10 meg is starting to become table stakes. But you got to step back now and look at what's going on, folks. You've got Verizon putting in Fios. They just announced an SME, 100 meg into a building. Okay, copper is dead. Okay, Jesus, I can't say it anymore to people. Stop throwing good money after bad. But that's the table stakes. You can't run 50, 100, 200 megs over copper. It's not reliable. You can't get the pairs, etc. Products we offer range from virtual private lines all up to waves, OC, Ethernet, and we sell internet access. That's it. No applications, not now, no need to. We see so much demand for what we have. The benefits of the business model we built, how we built our networks, where we're focused, Reliability is our key differentiator. Going back to the brochures and the websites, what we do different that other people don't do, we deliver on time. Been in business 8 years, we've never delivered late. Our networks actually work. And when there's a problem, we actually call the customer and tell them what's wrong and what we're doing. Believe it or not, those three things, we have grown on an annual CAGR about 40% a year. We have 70% gross margins on initial business, 80 to 90% on add-on business, and we charge a premium for what we do. Because our customers have come to know that when we tell you it's going to be here on this date and the stuff is going to work, it's going to work. We have customers now that have been with us for 8 years and never experienced an outage. Enterprises like it because they can run their applications over it and not worry. VoIP providers like it because they've learned from the voltage lesson. You're only as good as your own the network underneath you. Owning the fiber, we have an ability then to innovate because we own that connectivity from the building to the desktop to our network to a carrier hotel or other points. What we've seen in growth year over year, our transport business is up 100%, our internet business is up 100%, and our access business is up 50% demand year over year. And Gary, my customers do have an emotional tie to us. Not just the
I would expect you to say no less.
Their emotional tie to us is it works. Our networks work. And we get a lot of business because of the emotional ties they have with networks that don't work. And then they come to us, and then they have an emotional breakdown when we show them a premium price. But once you realize that if you don't have a network that works, you can't have that emotional relationship with your customer, and then they go, oh, I get it now. So network reliability and having fiber, I think, is very important.
And as near as I can tell, everything he's telling you is the truth. There's no reason for me to doubt anything that he said. Also, a couple other really interesting points about this particular panel. Doug Wilson from Microsoft, who's going to speak next, have it on good authority.